Well, let's see how this ends up looking. It's pretty dark in here. There's light in front of me, but the sun now has moved around to the side of the building, although it's still roasting hot in here, about 28 at the moment. Clearly you can see I'm at home. And just for shits and giggles, this is in full auto, complete auto, everything auto. So we'll see how this looks. When I last put a vlog up on Wednesday, the day after I came back from London, I said I'd speak to you again when I had some news. Well, I think I've officially got some news. I've bought a car today. I feel really nervous. I'm never good at spending money on myself, but you've heard me talk about this for a long time now, and it does actually make financial sense. I think I mentioned to you the guy that takes care of my small little investment. He actually drives old Jags, and he said, I don't agree with this leasing cars. It makes much more sense to get an older car, own it, use it, and enjoy it. So that's exactly what I've done. As he pointed out, at the rate I was paying on the BMW, I'll have this car paid off for in 2 months, in 2 years, and it's mine. And more than anything, it's also a car that I'm really keen about. So I did go with a Mercedes SLK. It's a 2 litre, not the 3 litre. The 3 litre one I was going to look at, he's still not back from holiday, and I wanted to get things moving along. Also, the 3 litre car was over £500 in road tax. A 2 litre car is only £200 in road tax. I'm not going to spank it about. I don't need it to be a super fast car. I just want something to enjoy, something where the new studio is. I might even be able to go around there and clean it, because you know I live in an apartment, so I can't really wash the car here, but I could even get into cleaning my own car around there if there's some sort of hose outlet or something. Maybe I can go around there on a Sunday and finish editing and then go and clean the car. I'm really happy with it. So I met a dealer this morning. Again, I'm buying from a dealer, not private, so I'm happy about that. I'll be the fourth owner. It's a 2012 car, so it's 14 years old, but it doesn't look it. It looks so gorgeous. It's such a pretty car. It's in white with a light sort of silver grey interior. I drove it with the roof up, with the roof down. It was the higher end of where the price should be, but I'm buying from a dealer. He's given me 3 months warranty. I don't need to worry about sort of HPI checks. I don't even know if I'll do a car vertical, to be honest. He's a reputable dealer. He lives just round the corner from me. We met up, I took it for a test drive. There's a couple of tiny little marks he's going to touch up. I've been watching a load of YouTube videos on it this week, so I kind of knew roughly what I should be looking for. It's done 39,000 miles in 14 years. And it's got a full, partly Merc service history, but then a specialist service history. It's got a year's MOT and a year's road tax. So I think I've done all right. I put a deposit on it this morning. I feel nervous, but I just need to get the thing insured now. I was on hold to a classic car company, but I'll find out insurance. It will be cheaper to insure than my car. Obviously, the car I had is a higher value. So I can probably go on 5,000 miles a year, and a 14-year-old car, I should get classic car insurance. I'm hoping I'll get it insured for maybe 350, something like that. I'm really looking forward to it. I genuinely am. It has actually got Bluetooth as well, so I will actually be able to pair a phone. It's just that little bit late in the 09 I was looking at last week. So, and it's the squarer front end that it's got. So I'm really happy. I'll put some pictures up on the screen for you to see it, but I'm really happy. I'm hoping, well, I've written the email to BMW Financial Services this morning. It's called voluntary termination. So I've told them I want it collected, and hopefully, as I think I've mentioned to you before, it can be collected before my next payment goes out, which is on the 25th of this month. So hopefully it gives them 10 days to get British Car Auctions apparently come pick it up. They can come and collect it and be done with it. So feels like a big step forward. This year, I didn't expect there to be so much change. This year's been so odd. It started off in Vegas, as you know, and I thought it was going to be a really great year. Then it turned into quite a shocking year, and it's been a lot of change as well. And I was going to say I don't like change. I deal with change. And sometimes when change is forced at you, you kind of just have to deal with what you're given. And the mortgage situation was out of my control. So that had to be dealt with. And then I've made considerable savings since that news about the mortgage. Obviously, I've made considerable savings on getting rid of the BMW. And yes, I'm taking a lump of money out, but I'll be able to pay that back hopefully fairly quickly. I've got rid of Sky, which felt very, very cathartic, because Sky, of course, back when it first came out, was the only way to see anything. But now, I don't sit and watch the full Grand Prix. I watch it on YouTube as highlights. I don't generally watch cricket all through the day. I listen to it on the radio, and then I watch the highlights on YouTube. It just was redundant. So that saved another £50 a month getting rid of Sky. There's been a load of small things that have just made changes down the line, and I think all these changes are good. Which, the studio news, by the way, something else cropped up yesterday. I don't think it will come up. There's somebody that I know, one of the cafes that I know in the village, I was talking to somebody in the village, and they knew somebody that was a landlord. Anyway, I went round to see this office that was above a chemist's. It's virtually the same size as where I'm currently, but I don't think we're going to agree money. And he wanted about 150 more than I want, and I don't think we're going to meet. He's going to think about it over the weekend, but I'd be very surprised. The only way I would do it is if we met somewhere in the middle and he put AC in. I can't describe to you how important, not because of the heat wave, but just generally with lights on and max and everything, it gets warm. And as you know, trying to film when you're looking hot and sweaty, I know I'm used to doing it in London, isn't the best look. So I don't think that'll happen. So I'm still assuming I'm going to be round at the studio that you've seen. The barn, shall we call it, or the shed, but you know what I mean, that one. So that's still going through. I did make a list of things. I had a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about, and car news is at the top of the list. Quattro magazine have published me again. I'll leave a link to the PDF in this video for you. I'll put it on my server, and if you want to have a look at it, my features at the back. I didn't get the front cover, I got the outside back cover this time. So at least I've also ordered some print copies as well. Coming up this week, it's Creator Fest. I'm going up to London on Tuesday. I've got my pass organised. YouTube are going to be there, so I'm hoping to have a long chat with them about what's going on with YouTube and the changes. If there's anything you think, yeah, that's the point actually, if there's anything you think I ought to bring up to YouTube this week, let me know and I'll try and ask some questions. I'll try and find some FaceTime with them. So I don't know if James Reader, the photographer that I met at Birmingham, will become sort of friends online. I don't know. If you haven't looked at his channel, do. It's a really good Canon channel. Well, general photographic channel. And I'm going to see if he's there. Also, I'm hoping to get some shots on that basketball court. It's called Magazine London, the place I'm going to. I think I mentioned it. And there's this basketball court that's up overlooking the Greenwich Peninsula. So I'm hoping to get some great shots up there as well. So again, I'm going to double up when I'm up there. Not only am I going to Creator Fest, I'm also going back in time. My jazz show that I used to have on the radio, through COVID, I turned it into an interview-based show because I felt that the artists had been robbed of their living. So by having interviews, it just helped give them a little stage, a presence, let people know what they were doing, if they were making albums at home at the time, all that kind of thing. One of the singers, jazz singers that I interviewed was somebody called Rachel Sutton, and she is meeting me on Tuesday before I go into Creator Fest. She's asked me to give her the finished file there and then, so I'll probably go into full auto for that. I will just... And I'm going to, unfortunately, I'll have to take the MacBook Pro with me, I think, so I can just get this off of here. Maybe I can get it done on the Neo, maybe. So I'm just going to give her the full file and let her chop it at the end. So I've got a list of questions. So and also, while I'm up there, I'm going to try and record another video. As I sit recording this Saturday afternoon at about 1, I've got another Oneer video going up. It seemed to go down quite well last week. I know it was on the Neo, which is very favourable, but I've done a Oneer on the iPad mini. I did it in my hotel room this week. I really worked my butt off this week. I managed to get 3 videos and 3 lots of B-roll recorded in 2 days, plus 200 photos that I shot. So I worked my arse off this week in London. I think this week's going to be quite hard, but at least it's only 1 day. That's a great room that I stayed in, though. Really great room. So I've got a video going up at 4:30 today. I'll try. What I might do for this, uploading videos takes so long at home. It is painful. I've not had any joy with BT calling back either. I've emailed this woman that I spoke to about getting my 5G router. Do any of you use 5G routers? It should be pretty quick where I am. What I might do is go and upload this sitting in the car by the mast. I measured when I was walking back last night. It was about 130 up. It should upload in the blink of an eye. Yes, it means I've got to get the car out and go and sit in a lay-by, but it's air conditioned, so I'll be quite cool. So I might do that because it took, the iPad mini video took an hour to upload. It was dragging yesterday. So I might, if this gets up in time, hopefully you might see it before the other video goes up. But I think the one is because I realise not everyone can do that. Not everyone can just sit down and talk. All it is makes notes in a notebook and just talk, which obviously harks back to the radio skills that I learned. And it's a very relaxed way. There's not one single edit. I didn't make one cut in this take. It was just literally open up the camera and talk. And I want to do the same this week I'm going to do about the iMac this week because there's rumours of maybe an iMac Pro coming out again, or certainly a larger iMac. So I want to talk about that as well. And I think lastly to mention was that I got a boost on Medium last week, which immediately made a difference. That one story in a week has made more than I earned in a month last month. but I haven't been boosted again this week. So most of the time, as you know, I repurpose content. So this week's story is about the iPad mini as well, but it hasn't been boosted. I thought a lovely picture in front of the Gherkin when I was up on that roof garden might have swung it, but no. But it just goes to show they are still occasionally boosting, and when they do boost, it makes a massive and immediate difference. So that's kind of the news. I've bought a car. Changes are happening. So changing studio, changing car, everything just seems to be shooting in London a lot, learning how to use auto mode. My brain is constantly learning things and buzzing with things, but it's fun. I've got all the paperwork looked at for BMW. I cannot wait to get rid of that car. The sooner the better. Fingers crossed, keep your fingers crossed me that it acts really, really quickly. I can even afford to be without a car. I picked a good time as well because there's a couple of clients I have to see. Well, it's school holidays. I do a lot of work for some prep schools in my design business, and they're on holiday, so I don't even need to run around delivering work. So I've picked this month particularly, and my car insurance runs out in the beginning of August. So again, I've timed it well for that. I can get the money back on the road tax. I've tried to do everything I can, and hopefully, sell it before this month's payment goes out. So there you go. My day. I thought it warranted a vlog. Right, I'm going to go and sit in a lay-by and upload this baby now. Let's just hope it looks okay with everything auto. This is full colour auto, white balance, the most auto. I've done nothing. Feels quite dirty, but I've done nothing. But if it can get handled fairly low light like this, I'll be impressed, actually. I'll be impressed. Anyway, I didn't even alter the white balance. It's done it all. Right, I'll speak to you from Creator Fest on Tuesday, I would think. Seems a great place to catch up from, and I'll let you know how it's all gone. But if there's any questions you want me to ask YouTube, let me know. Or look at the people that are there at Creator Fest. If there's anybody you want me to get in touch with, let me know. And equally, take a look at the link to the Quadro magazine that I'll leave in the description. I'll speak to you on Tuesday. Enjoy the heatwave. Enjoy the football if you're into that, and enjoy the Wimbledon finals.